You guys have played a lot more zone this season. How is it compared to what you've seen from you guys, and how do you go against that?
Yeah, well, they're the experts, I guess, so to speak, of it. They do a phenomenal job with it. They've been doing it for years, and obviously, us adding Max, kind of trying to steal it from them in a sense. We know what they're trying to give up because that's what we ultimately give up, and you know, they had success with it with Bam in the middle, and we had success with it with Dre or Av, and even myself at one point. So. We'll definitely take the film and work on it and be better at it. But it's one of those things you gotta give them credit. They were in a full press. They're up there. They even trapped, and I lost the ball at the end of the game. So it's different little nuances and tricks that they have that we'll definitely try to take. And they do a really good job at it. They played zones pretty much the whole game. You know what I mean? And it allows them to keep guys that you would typically hunt on defense on the floor, and it allows them to extend their minutes. And then on the offensive end, they can really, especially Duncan, man, he got off today, got a few good looks, and so you got to give them credit. That's what they do, and we'll definitely have to take a few things, but I think we did a really good job adjusting and figuring it out.
You guys have proven a lot this season to be able to win in a lot of different ways. Offense has been a big key for you guys, the change from last year over to this year, but defensively, you guys had 6 stops at the end of the game to be able to secure this one. How important is it for you guys to not only be able to win in multiple ways, but also to lean on that defensive identity?
Yeah, it's huge. I think you look at the numbers offensively, and it's just like, man, we're doing this, we're setting records here, we're doing that. But ultimately, we shot 35%, but it felt like way worse. I think just being able to, we have some timely threes, which definitely helped, but I think for us, if we're going to be that team, we can't only just rely on our offense. We have to be able to get stops, and to get 6 straight stops to end the game, it just is a testament to us locking down. And it's not always going to be perfect, but when it comes down to it, being able to be like, all right, we can buckle down and get stops when needed.
Okay.
Feels like, especially during this last recent stretch of games, that Max has kind of just been all over the place for you guys. Kenny said that you guys call him Wild Thing, and then he looks like a player like shooting at the YMCA, just jacking shots up. For you, what has he come to mean to this team, and how crucial has he been to the success of this team?
We joke about it, but he brings like that heat culture. You know what I mean? He does it all. And I've said this since he's gotten here. He's not just a 3-point shooter. He's out there guarding the best player. You know what I mean? He's taking on those challenges. He'll curse me out if I try to guard the best player. You want that tenacity, that in your teammate. He's a guy that's crashing, going after loose balls, yelling, screaming. Hasn't really got many texts this year, so he's calmed down in that regard. But he does it all. He does all the little things, all the dirty work, and that's what makes him special to us. And then on top of that, when you need timely threes, he's the guy that you see it knocking down shots in the fourth quarter.
Kenny also said that you guys don't really talk about where you guys are at clinching the playoffs. It's just kind of keeping your head down.
Yeah.
How do you balance, though, wanting to celebrate yourselves as a team in this moment, but also keeping that in the future?
I'm a big proponent on celebrating the little things, but I think this one is this was an expectation. I don't think this is it great that we did it in March? Yeah, but this is the bare minimum for us. You know what I mean? I think a playoff berth is something that we've just come to be like, this is who we are. You know what I mean? And now it's can we be the 1 seed? Can we win and figure things out while winning games? You know what I mean? Can we sweep everybody to a championship? Like, what I'm saying? Like, whatever. I'm obviously kidding, but those are the goals. Like, it's the next level. We've accomplished so many different things, but this making the playoffs, it's great to do it in front of the home crowd. Great to do it early, but this is bare minimum for us. If for us with the expectations and the goals we have, this is just to be expected.
Mark.
When they were playing zone in the fourth quarter, like Kenny threw a little wrinkle in there where you became the flash of the high post instead of DeAndre. You see it smirking. Is that something?
I'm a big man. You know what I mean? I'm a big
you feel
man.
comfortable in that spot?
Yeah, I joke with Bam after that I hit a little hook shot over him. I just feel like, I told DG, like, you handle the ball and allow me to kind of roam around, you know what I mean? Because now I'm drawing the eyes, and kind of getting that attention, and in that one specific possession, they're so worried about the 3-point shot. They lose me, I get in there and get a bucket. Now they're so worried about me in the corner. the middle's open. Like just being able to just use my gravity in different scenarios. And that was one of those instances where it's like, let's just, I've been playing the perimeter, I've been handling the ball. Let's throw myself in the middle. If I get it and they collapse, I make a play. But definitely get in there, hitting the float or whatever, just kind of changing it up a little bit. Definitely something I'm definitely comfortable with. And definitely, when you're playing a team like that, you got to try different things in order to, find ways to get a bucket.
I know it's a small sample size. I think it's only 9 games now. But what have you made of the Evan and DeAndre front court pairing?
It's been good. I think offensively, obviously, it's been good, but I think defensively, we haven't even scratched the surface of what we can be. Like I make the joke, we don't run no plays right now for DeAndre because they really know all of them yet, and he's still figuring out a way. But also defensively, he's figuring out our system on the fly. You know what I mean? So whether it's being the low man or whether it's funneling it this way or different things like that, and for us to continue to have the success that we've been having is a testament to him, his IQ, and what he's learned and what his dedication to the game of being a really, really good defender. So it's been great, and it's only going to continue to get better.
Yeah. I know you mentioned, clinching playoff berth is just the expectation for this group, but you guys become one of 2 teams ever to have 3 12-game or longer winning streaks in a season. Do you reflect on that type of, history that this team is making at all?
We talked about this the other day. We sometimes I think we forget we're on a winning streak, to be honest with you, and I think I'm glad that that's the case. I think because, we won the game yesterday, and I forgot who asked me, I think it was Chris or whatever, like we weren't happy. We 3 games in a row now, we came out and started off slow. Like I don't think, if we were out here celebrating another win streak, I think it would show a lack of maturity in a sense. I think for us, we expect to win every game. Our expectation now is how do we play our best basketball throughout, and if we don't win these games, then so be it, but how can we continue to learn and get better? And I think like I said, just talking with the guys in the locker room, like, I think it was like the 9th or 10th game, we're like, oh shoot, like, we are on a win streak because it's like, we have so many other goals throughout this season to try to prep us for what we've been going. But also on the flip side, at some point I feel like we'll be like, man, this is definitely special, but it's after All-Star break, it's that time of year, so it's great that our group, we're doing these things, but our focus is how do we just continue to be the best team come playoff time.
Has not, noticing that you've been on a win streak been different about this one compared to the other 2? And I know the first one,
I think the first one we definitely knew.
It's hard to not notice, but has this been different than the other 2?
Yeah, I think the first one was definitely different. I'm not going to say we didn't know the first one. I think this one is definitely different because we know who we are. We've shown it all season, and now it's like I said, we expect to come into every game playing at our highest. Like when shots don't go in, it's a shocker. For us, it's like when we're not getting stops, it's a shocker because we've shown this is who we can be. So I think now, not necessarily like I've always said, we always want to learn through wins. I think, using the Boston game, the Portland game, the Chicago game as an example, not being satisfied with those games, like being happy we won those games, but not being satisfied throughout shows where we are mentally as a group. And now the biggest thing is, can we stay there? Can we continue to make that push? So definitely you've seen the change throughout the season. I think the first one, you celebrate history, 15-0, everybody's happy. Now it's like, no, this is just what we do, and this is who we need to be come playoff time.
The fourth quarter for you guys has become a real strength, whether it's you're coming back, you're holding the lead, closing out opponents. Just what's been the difference for this team this year in those final 6 to 12 minutes of a game?
What they call it, the Cavaliers, right? That's what they call it. No, I think it just shows the level that we can get to. Like, and we've done it where we've played poorly for 3 quarters and done well. We've played great for 3 quarters and then took it to another level. We've shown that we can do it in different instances. We've shown that we can do it whether guys are in the lineup, out the lineup, shooting well, playing but poorly. And that's the ultimate test. I think tonight we got stops, but I don't think this is one of our better fourth quarters. I mean, we hit shots, but I had 2 terrible turnovers. DG had a turnover. Just different things that we can definitely clean. I mean, I had 5 tonight. You know what I mean? Like I think just cleaning those things up, and that goes to my point. I was telling Danny, like we got 6 stops and we're happy about that, but like we didn't do our job on the offensive end. But all year we've been phenomenal. Whether it's myself, it's DG who's been phenomenal in the clutch, Evan. We've done it in big games. We've done it in games where 3 and 4 is like we're tired. So I think it's something that just shows our maturity as a group and how we've continued to take our steps. But I was going to say this, it doesn't really mean much right now. We're doing a lot of positive things, but now it's just going to help translate, ideally translate to the playoffs.
Winning when you're not at your best.
Mhm.
Kenny talked about it earlier. You mentioned it.
Mhm.
What does that do for you guys as you're preparing for having your eye on what you're really aiming for?
Yeah, I think it's also it's great for film work too. When you're looking at games, it's like, all right, what did we do in this 6-minute stretch, or what did we do in these 3 minutes that we weren't doing the first 3 quarters? Understanding that we don't need to be a 3-point heavy team to win games. We don't need to make shots to win games. We can get stops. We don't need to just get stops to win games. We can make shots. We can outshoot teams. Like, there's so many different things you learn through these instances and through these games. And I think like Kenny said, like when you're not at your best, being able to still win in this fashion. I think the Chicago game is a prime example of that. Not really playing our best all game, and then it's 107, and next thing we're up by 20. It just speaks to what we can do. And then when we get to our film works, looking at it, be like, all right, like what are we doing here that we're not doing here? We got to hold ourselves to this standard.